Have you ever noticed something strange? The people who truly change their lives almost never talk about it. No announcements, no day one videos, no dramatic promises. They simply disappear for a while and come back, different, stronger, calmer, more focused. And everyone else wonders, what happened to them? The truth is, nothing happened overnight. They changed quietly. While the world was distracted, they were building something real. Because real change does not need attention. It grows in silence. Today, almost everything has become a performance. People wake up at 5 a.m., film their routines, show their planners, document every step. But what you don't see is that most of it doesn't last. Because when change becomes a performance, it starts depending on something fragile: attention. And attention fades. But the people who truly organize their lives build something different. They build systems that don't need motivation. They build habits that don't need applause. They build quietly. The first thing they protect is the beginning of their day. Not 5 a.m., not a perfect routine, just the first hour. Because that hour is powerful. It's the moment when your mind is still quiet, when the world hasn't entered yet, and most people waste it. They open their phone, they scroll, they react to other people's lives. And just like that, their day no longer belongs to them. But those who change in silence do something simple. They pause. No noise, no distraction. Just a moment to ask, what actually matters today? Not 10 things, just a few. And they carry that clarity into the rest of the day. But clarity alone is not enough, because willpower is unreliable. Some days you feel strong, some days you don't. And that's where most people fail. They depend on motivation. But those who truly change design their environment instead. They make the right choice easier, not through discipline, but through structure. If something is important, they place it in front of them. If something is harmful, they move it away. Because the truth is simple. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your environment. Then comes a mistake almost everyone makes: trying to change everything at once. New habits, new routines, new identity, and within weeks, everything collapses. Because the mind doesn't change that way. Real change is slow, it is quiet, it is repetitive. Those who succeed choose one thing, just one, and they repeat it until it becomes natural, until it no longer requires effort, until it becomes part of who they are. And something surprising happens along the way. They begin to let go. Not everything needs to stay, not every habit, not every commitment, not every relationship. Some things drain you quietly, and you don't notice until you remove them. Those who change in silence understand this. They don't just build, they subtract. And with everything they release, their mind becomes lighter, clearer, more focused. They also understand something most people ignore. Rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. You cannot build a clear life with an exhausted mind. So they rest before they break. They pause before they burn out. Not because they are weak, but because they understand rhythm. Life is not constant motion, it is cycles. And those who respect those cycles last longer. But maybe the most powerful habit is this: they stop telling people what they're going to do. Because the moment you announce your goals, something changes. You feel progress before you've earned it. And that feeling becomes enough, so the action fades. But silence removes that illusion. When nobody knows, only the work remains. And something deeper begins to grow: internal discipline. the kind that does not depend on validation. They also take time to reflect, not daily, not obsessively, just once a week, a quiet moment to ask, what worked? What didn't? What needs to change? Small adjustments, again and again, until their life slowly aligns. And at the end of each day, they reset. Not dramatically, just a few quiet actions, cleaning their space, clearing their mind, preparing for tomorrow. So when the next day begins, it begins with clarity, not chaos. They make decisions before emotions take over, before hunger, before stress, before fatigue. Because in those moments, we don't choose wisely. So they decide in advance. And by doing that, they protect their energy. But underneath all of this, there is one thing holding everything together. Something most people avoid. Honesty. Not the kind you show others, the kind you face alone. The kind that asks, am I really doing what I say matters? Or am I just pretending? Am I growing or just staying comfortable? These questions are not easy, but they are necessary. Because you cannot change what you refuse to see. And this is where everything becomes clear. Real transformation is not loud. It is not dramatic. It does not need an audience. It happens in small moments, quiet decisions, invisible habits, repeated again and again. While others are performing change, some people are becoming it, silently, slowly, deeply. And one day, without warning, their life looks completely different. Not because of one big moment, but because of hundreds of quiet ones. Maybe that's the truth most people don't want to hear. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more attention. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to begin, quietly, and keep going, even when no one is watching.